Hey everybody, Shay here. Welcome back to another blind let's play of Cyberpunk 2077. I'm going to take a quick break here. I'm actually recording this after I've already recorded an hour, but what I've done is I went into a lot of the, and before Jackie gets too much further here, he's talking. Before he goes further, I came in here and I did a lot of reading of the journals, in particular the database, and so that was an hour. I didn't get through all of it, but it turned into the majority of the episode turned into that. And so what you're about to watch, I'm speaking from the future here, what you're about to watch is the edited footage of all of that stuff put together so that I can stitch the beginning part of this video into the next episode, because Jackie is talking, we're about to enter Afterlife, and that way I can keep all of that together. So without further ado, I'm going to send you off to the codexes, the database, and I'll catch you on the other side. Under database is I did see the names of the characters. I would like to read those now because I just finished editing the episode where I was talking about T-Bug, and whether I should trust her or not. I mean, maybe I'm missing context because it's been given to me, and I just didn't read it and then I saw their names pop up in things in here, and I didn't read it. So, and now I've got like, ooh, there's so many, but I got to read these. Okay, so we got V, Nomad. So roaming the Badlands, looting scrapyards, raiding fuel depots. We've already read most of this. This is just the Nomad start here. I love of freedom. Yeah, so it's loyalty, family, freedom. No amount of money could buy. Yeah, so we got Jackie Wells, a proud son of Haywood and of Haywood. See, like why does that sound familiar to me? A proud son of Haywood and an even prouder son of Mama Wells. Jackie's stubborn. When he wants something, he won't stop or shut up about it until he gets his hands on it. Jackie always wanted a lot out of life, maybe too much. As a teenager, he joined the Valentinos gang, but realizing how much he was capable of, he quit. For years, he hustled through the unforgiving world of merc work, because you need more than a go-getter attitude to sit at the big boys table. You need street cred. Jackie's life goal has always been to become a legend at the Afterlife and make heap of eddies along the way. See, context. That's important. He already had that motivation. Even as a teenager, he kind of snapped out of that. But he still wanted that sort of fame. To get the fame, he needed the cred. The cred got him into Afterlife. He likely knew all of these connections. Then he brought us to Night City. And those 6 months, it would have just been bang, 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 bang. This kind of lifestyle, or at least I'd have access to learning something about it vicariously through Jackie. So that's some V context there. We got Vector. If you want decent chrome, you go to Vix. While other places might look like spaceship interiors crossed with Zen rooms, his Ripper Doc clinic is no nonsense and doesn't bombard customers with corporate logos. Wow, there was that one in the background. Come on. Okay, it was bombarded, but if you're nice, he might even give you a beer with your anesthesia before he starts cutting. Victor is actually one of the living legends of Night City. I don't like how this text is like over this because I'm actually having trouble reading it. That's blend. And it was the fact that he's been trying to get people to forget for years. He's a man of principle, an old school tough guy from the streets for whom honor and morals were forged in Night City's Devil's Boxing Club. So if I knew, it does look like I had some sort of relationship with VV, and so there would have been, that camaraderie was legit. It wasn't like me just butting up because I needed a favor. It's like, no, there's probably a history of connections there, and I would know him to be a legend inside Night City. So I would respect that status, I suppose, especially if it was like 6 months worth. Then we have Misty here. While Victor is a healer of bullet and blade wounds, Misty is a mender of broken spirits. Misty's Esoterica, a small shop in front of a Ripper Doc clinic, is stacked with an assortment of aura cleansing incense sticks, yarrow stems, Tibetan Book of the Dead shards, and pendants for good luck. Though Misty gets more customers than Victor, this smart and sensitive woman somehow always finds the time to help her friend in difficult moments, at times almost taking on the role of a full-fledged nurse. Dexter Deshawn. Dex never shot hoops, jumped roofs, or pulled a trigger. Likewise, he never felt the need to plant his fat ass in a netrunner's chair or splice cables in a sooty garage. Wait, never pulled a trigger? Yes, that's right. Dex never popped lead in his entire life. If people, that's what Dex was good at. Dex is one of the biggest fixtures in Night City. He's a pretty big deal. Because I should know better than to try to even contemplate turning on him with Evelyn. Both literally and figuratively. Word on the street is that there were complications from his last job, but that's just the nature of biz, ain't it? Besides, when people like Dexter Deshawn has a gig for you, you don't ask questions. You just shake on it. See, but if he's out to screw me, and or Jackie, then I'm gonna take a personal sting off of that, and I'm going to look at someone like Evelyn and go, hey man, maybe loyalty can be found elsewhere. But I mean, then again, I'm working with a corpo. I forget her name now. Madeline. I forget her name. We'll probably run into it again. But it's one of those. I didn't intend to make friends with that corpo lady. It just, I wanted her to kind of provide me with something I could provide with the kook jobs. And then I could get with the Marauders, and then I could get, I'm a fanfic like went off, and I wanted them to kind of turn on each other or something like that. I kind of made something up and I rolled with it. But I mean, that character might have thought that. That was the assumption. So I rolled with it, and then it kind of worked out in an interesting way so far. But I don't really have loyalty to that lady because she was aggressive up front. Now, fair enough, that was her role. She was just checking things, and then she laid off, and then we kind of found an agreement. We found a middle ground, and we're kind of like using each other, maybe. But so that context might hold up. But and she made that comment about loyalty straight up, like from an RP perspective. Like she nailed it though in words, you know. And I think something fell off the truck. Call me crazy, but I think I haven't checked my inventory, but the whole inventory, like something. And I didn't edit the episode, so I didn't re-see what that scene was. But I thought she said something like something falling off the truck. I was like, oh, I get it. Wink, wink. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. We have Judy Alvarez, one of the Braindance's most gifted editors and a skilled techie. If she wanted to, she could get hired at any corpo entertainment studio and make bank. But Judy values her independence too much to sell out. She rejects every offer that comes her way. Her anarchist spirit drew her to the Mox. Why do I always want to say A? The A and the O are very hard for me to distinguish in this font. The Mox, in the hope that they could improve the lives of people in Night City. Her biggest flaw is that she won't keep her mouth shut in the face of injustice, something that always gets her in trouble. For some, though, it's her greatest virtue. Yorinobu Arasaka. The son of Saburo Arasaka, leader of the world's biggest arms manufacturing corporation, ever since his young rebellious years, there's been a lot of friction between Yorinobu and his father, though as to why, that's anyone's guess. Known for his difficult personality and controversial opinions, he doesn't fulfill any important role in Arasaka. Despite his urgent calls for change in the corporation, Yorinobu doesn't really want to take the helm. Oh, so he doesn't want to take. So that's an interesting dynamic. So the father sort of has him at a distance too, though. He doesn't really want to take the helm. Being a billionaire is currently much more fun. So he wants the riches without the responsibility. And then there's the daughter, which we know now is connected to the cop. There was something going on there and bring someone down. So I don't know if that was bring the father down, the father and the brother. Maybe the father's the corrupt stuff, but he's maybe just partying. I don't know. There's maybe something there we get to look into. And we have Saburo Arasaka, CEO of the Arasaka Corporation. After elevating his father's Japanese company out of relative obscurity to become a global powerhouse, Saburo is now widely regarded as the founder of the Arasaka. What do I say like that? Because it just feels right. Empire. This former Japanese Imperial Navy pilot transformed into the ruthless businessman who now stands at the helm of the world's largest arms manufacturer. He is a man who, for decades, has been rumored to be able to force even the most cold-blooded assassins to commit suicide at his command, which may say as much about his virtually absolute rule as it does his extraordinarily prolonged lifespan. Oh. Well, no, there's probably things that you can take for that. We have T-Bug. This is the one I need. This is literally why I came in here. Let me just get some context. T-Bug is a textbook example of how solos and netrunners really aren't all that different. Both take on risky contracts that usually end in dust-ups with corporations or the law, ever walking the tightrope between life and death. After all, black ice isn't any less dangerous than taking a bullet. T-Bug's well aware of this fact, and as a legit specialist in her field, she's fully within her rights to be picky about her contracts. Unlike more reckless net runners, T-Bug intends to sail into retirement age, preferably with enough eddies to leave this goddamn city behind for good. Didn't really get the context I needed there. We have Royce. Pretty sure he doesn't exist anymore, but we have Brick, and Brick is not showing up on this list. Maybe he's up here somewhere, so maybe Royce isn't the kind of guy you forget, and not just because his fashion sense includes a set of red-hot LED optics straight from hell. No. What stays burned in your memory is his manic, obsessive, erratic, paranoid, trifet, tweaked behavior. As a leader, he's always been polarizing. Either his goons love him or they hate him. Well, he was a loose fucking cannon. And he provoked me to take the actions that I did. He has been neutralized. He's no longer part of the city. Now watch this, like completely turn me around. Goddamn. But if Royce truly is mad, he might just be the most brilliant, methodical madman in the city. He's been running Maelstrom's affairs with surprising success. Probably because the only way to stay alive is to do biz with him. Whoops. Well, hopefully Brick wants to, take over. Brick, are you in here, bud? No, I don't think so. Well, that's all. I just wanted context on the people. I mean, there's probably other things too. Fine. Okay, hold on. I mean, I'm already in here. I've already burned away. This whole episode might as well be this, right? I said I was gonna do it. Okay, I'm just gonna read some more. I'm just gonna make this a half an hour of reading, just so I can, know what's up. So these are done, closed. We have a God damn it, Wakako Okada, and the daughter is in here too. She was in the email. Then she's not. Wakako Okada. If you're looking for decent paying gigs in Westbrook, Westbrook. Okay, that's Jackie. Wait. Open up Jackie again. Jackie. Haywood. A proud son of Haywood. Haywood is a location. I don't know. Never mind. Okay, if you're looking for decent paying jobs in Westbrook, go to the Pachinko Parlor on Jig Street, run by a fixer named Wakaka. By these O's and A's, I can't do it because then I read it, but I still forget. My eyes still want to see different things. Named Wakako Okada. Rumors abound, but as of yet, nobody's worked up the nerve to ask her about her past and her very dead husbands. She didn't kill any of them, probably. But hey, what's important is that they're gone and she's still going strong, growing richer and more powerful by the day. Every serious player in Night City respects Wakako. Going into a meeting with her is like getting into a cage with a lioness. Sure, the lioness is polite, but you can tell she's already thinking about her next snack. Maybe that's why Wakako's gigs are carried out almost immediately and flawlessly. Wakako takes this entirely for granted. I should probably go see Wakako. Regina Jones, a fixer with Chinese heritage operating out of Watson. She used to work as an independent reported for FTF Radio, but after the station was acquired by the media conglomerate News 54, Regina decided it was time to find a better medium to spread her message. She mobilized all her contacts, from the highest-ranking corpos to the lowliest dealers, gangers, mercs, bums, and junkies. From their point of view, Regina, I need to pick one. Regina hasn't changed a bit, and now even if I hear Regina, it's always going to be Regina if I decide. That's why I try to say both, just so I give myself some flexibility to pivot. If I find that, if I can try to pivot when I know that, when I hear it. I don't care. She's always been a fighter, a girl from the streets. The difference is that before she bought gossip and sold news, now she spins both. Ermland Street. A little shopping street in Little China, Ermland is a bright, noisy marketplace of all your heart's desires. There you can get preem clothing, flashy cyberware, heavy weapons, the latest horrible venereal diseases. All depends what you're looking for. Kabuki Roundabout. I love how these like areas have their own names. That's cool. I'm trying to remember these. This is the. Oh, I think this is where I met the one to do the hack thing. Yeah, maybe. And then it was near the Kabuki Roundabout. Anyways, despite its name, it's not just a place where cars go in circles, but a Chinese-inspired architectural gem that pays tribute to Kabuki's uniqueness. This is where old friends pick up where they left off over a bowl of ramen, and kids gawk at the newest brain dance ads. This is where the second shift meets the third on its way to the NID. While black market trade goes on long into the early hours, almost every corner of Kabuki Roundabout is occupied by street stalls with heavy-end brands sold at low prices. So like in the real world still today. Arasaka Waterfront. Oh, I was there. Maybe I just saw it in the distance, maybe, or I don't know. Oh, that's the thingamajigs. Where we met the lady, maybe. I don't know. When it comes to the waterfront, it's pretty simple. Either you're from Arasaka, or you should leave the area. Okay, maybe not. The mega corporation has made the waterfront its logistical hub. According to official figures, every month hundreds of shipments are inspected and stored in automated warehouses, then shipped all over the country. What's in those shipments and what really goes on at the waterfront is unknown. The Arasaka waterfront is surrounded by a reinforced wall equipped with extra security measures. Officially, it's there to protect Arasaka's interests against gangs, scavengers, nosy reporters, and the ordinary residents of Watson who might accidentally get lost. But is that the real reason? Dun dun dun. Northside Industrial District, NID. The Northside Industrial District was once an important area of Watson with factories. Oh, that's where I was. Maybe. I don't know. With factories employing thousands of night citizens. Today, it feels neglected and devoid of life. Most of the factories shut down. Parts of the buildings were damaged by earthquakes and property developments left unfinished. The center of the NID is divided by a row of towering apartment buildings purposefully constructed to shield the wealthy from a pretty depressing view. They're occupied by mid-ranking workers that are still employed by the lost remaining industries operating in the NID. With few prospects to cling to, those workers' only hope is that they don't close down, because outside of the NID, there's no future for them. As they say, you move to Northside, you'll die in Northside. Often, that's just interpreted to mean you'll catch a stray bullet from one of the ubiquitous maelstormers. Oh no, that's definitely where I was. Little China. In the 40s, this part of Watson aspired to be the next city center. Corps invested heavily in the area, putting up towers and cutting-edge clinics such as the Med Center. That's where you slap down your cred chip for implants. That is, if you wanted to get them legally. But soon enough, this neighborhood became populated with immigrants, mostly from China, hence the name. Over the next few decades, the district became increasingly more populated and diverged from its original plans. Today, Little China is considered a poor district, but its food smells, neon lights, tucked away little shops, and overall atmosphere draws the crowds. Even low-ranking corpos drop in to gamble and put Eurodollar bills into thongs. The sight of suits strolling past the homeless also shouldn't take anyone here by surprise. It did take me by surprise. I made a comment. I recall that. Kabuki. Once upon a time, Kabuki touted an impressive cluster of corporate medical office buildings located right next to the famous Med Center. Kabuki prided itself for a reputation on being a tidy, elegant district. That is, until Arasaka swallowed up every last competitor. Ever since then, Kabuki, not counting Pacifica, is known as the poorest district in Night City. But Kabuki is far from empty. An influx of Chinese immigrants have turned Kabuki's winding streets into a lively bazaar where one can find almost anything for a fraction of the market rate. At night, the Chinese lanterns and flickering neon lights up the stalls. I want to see those fish, the swimming fishy things. I've seen in the trailers. They're so pretty. And the Night City's biggest black market for implants, organs, drugs, stolen prototypes, steroids, viruses, and malware, XBDs. You name it, Kabuki will have it. The district is heavily crowded, save for its northern stretches where abandoned warehouses and disused factories have become occupied by gangers and outcasts of all stripes and colors. Kabuki is largely controlled by the Tiger Claws. Occasionally, you might also spot Maelstrom. Some local gangs thrive, such as the Mox, who run the most popular brain dance club in the city, Lizzie's Bar. Japantown. Given its popularity with tourists, it's no wonder Japantown feels like it's constantly buzzing with life. Crowds occupy the local bars, upscale restaurants, arcades, the famous Cherry Blossom Market, and especially the Shinto Shrine. That's a must-see if you're in the area. Every corner holds a luxurious backdrop for a perfect photo op. Japantown doesn't disappoint. So what's the catch, you might ask? Japantown can be expensive, especially in nighttime attractions. Corpos with fat cred chips come here to play hard after a hard day's work with cash liquid tourists. Nice. Right beside them. Local brain dance clubs, casinos, and bars are never short on customers. Just watch out for the Tiger Claws. They rule Japantown. The Glen. Rewind a few decades back, and Night City Council was on its knees begging corporations to help rebuild the city. The Glen became home to the new City Hall. It's no surprise then that the Glen feels much safer and organized than other districts. With millions of eddies invested on every corner, Reconciliation Park promises a liberal breath of fresh air, while the elegance of the surrounding architecture reminds you that the bustle of Night City is never out of reach. City Hall is the main attraction of the Glen and the seat of the city's mayor, but venture away from the tidiness and sophistication and you'll quickly start noticing rundown buildings and the menacing faces of the Valentinos and the 6th Street Gang. You won't get that in tourist guides. Still, the very fact that there's such a drastic social and economic difference only a few blocks away from City Hall says a lot about how the city is run. Bam. Close down on us. Vendor hubs. Done. Fixers. Done. Ooh. My eyes starting to go watery even by reading so much. Okay, Night City. We read Night City. V's mega building. Beside the 2,000 apartments identical to V's, the Watson... I have no idea where my home is anymore. It better be listed on the map. I would like to get to my apartment one day. I watch all the news. We can do an episode on just watching TV stuff. I think I'm going to do that after Act 1. This Watson mega block also features luxury penthouses on its super floors. Further down, you can find various service points, stores, market stalls, a gym, even a shooting range. To a certain extent, mega buildings are truly self-sufficient, self-contained ecosystems. Many of their long-term residents, especially netrunners, haven't stepped outside in years. I could see that. Konpeki Plaza. Konpeki Plaza is Night City's most exclusive hotel, an architectural marvel created solely for the elite. This is where global financiers stay for business trips, where nobody bats an eyelid at the sight of two rival corps having a drink or a well-known politician going up to their room with a brain dance star. Every square inch caters to luxury tastes and comes packed with the most decadent of entertainments with just a hint of mystery to keep things exciting. Oh, is this? Okay, never mind. I was thinking that this was like the Corpo start or something like that, and each of these was going to represent one of the starts or something, but no. Lizzie's Bar. Once a third-rate brothel and sticky dive, today's Lizzie's Bar is the bread and butter of the Moxes. The club boasts high-quality brain dances to use in the comfort of specialized booths. You can also see a live show, have a drink, and show off your moves on the dance floor. In 2067, Lizzie's Bar was the scene of Joy Toy's horrific murder, sparking riots among sex workers, eventually resulting in the gang known as the Mox. All Foods Factory. This factory of the popular NUS food and beverage giant specialized in producing protein slurries, nasty, that were marketed as meat or near meat. This Night City branch, however, was shut down unexpectedly and quickly became overrun by members of the Maelstrom gang. It has since served as the gang's main hideout in the industrial Watson district. Now, those emails we found, though, were still legitimately from, like, workers that were part of this facility. So This place just closed down, and then like a night ago, because no one wanted to reboot that machine. None of the Mailstormers wanted to like do. I don't know. I figured like it just seemed weird that some of the emails were still talking about marketing and stuff like that, right? Now I think. Oh, well, how am I doing? Should we check other things or keep going? Keep going. Encrypted shards. You can read, because I'm actually starting to hurt here. I don't know what's going on. Okay, these two are just meta. So we get the encrypted shards, which I've already done, which I think I might have done wrong. I got to review the video but I feel like I did something wrong there. Anyways, or not as well as I could have. And we have status effects here. Now, I don't know where these show up when things start going down, but I presume that they do show up somewhere. The duration and status effect. Okay, displayed by their name. Oh. It's when I investigate people, I see things on them. Okay, that's not for me. All right, well that's. Okay. I guess stun may matter. I don't know. Just kind of do. Just go. Just do things. We have weapons here. Ranged weapons. Ooh, do you talk about ranged weapons can be improved with scope? No, I mean, I've already looked into the knives. I already talked about why I think that's confusing. Because I don't know if it's like junk. Is it the junk knives? Like I got to get junk knives and then I can throw junk knives? Because I got to pay attention to that. So next time I pick up a junk knife, I'm gonna try to do the right click. I guess that I'm gonna try to do the zoom, and I don't know how the game decides. I already talked about this. Clothing and armor. I don't need to read about that one. Combat gadgets. Quick slots. Do I have to put the knife into a quick slot? The junk knife into a quick slot? I'm gonna try it. But I didn't have any. Oh, but I always had an empty quick slot, and I don't know why that was happening. The shotgun kept getting removed. And then I could swear I was doing a right click to zoom, and then something was getting thrown. I'm like, was that a grenade? Because the grenade is the circle. It's the spinny thing on my mouse, not a button. So something was messing me up there. Why do I keep going back to this point? So press yes. Okay. That's okay. So these are the grenades. Equip the grenade, and then yeah, the mouse wheel to assign them. Oh, to assign an item. Hold Alt. Oh. I do need to read these. Really? I just move the mouse like this after clicking the wheel, and then I go like this to go through the cycle? No. Oh, no, it says cycle through available items with Q and E. Okay, so hold Alt. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Consumables. Probably the same thing. To assign an item, hold Alt. Same thing, same menu, right? This consumable. Oh, so I can do that in combat. I was like, oh god, if I gotta go back into this screen and I do the thing, no, I can just go Alt, tap. I got the the big ones. If I'm just roaming around, I do the food, or the drinks or whatever. Okay, crafting and upgrade. No, I'm gonna look into that later. Character. I don't. Sure. Why not? We're already at this, right? Everyone who's stuck around knows what they're in for the 40 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever this episode's going to be, and then we're going to move on. But I just drove through the city. I didn't do anything this episode, so it's fine. It's going to be fine. Health regeneration and armor. Pretty straightforward, standard stuff, of course. Okay, outside combat. I noticed this. So outside combat, health will regenerate on its own up to 60%. I noticed that it will regenerate, but then it just stops, and I have to take something. So, yeah, you have to get nourishment. Okay, cool. Armor reduces the amount of damage taken. So, fine enough. Stamina. It's a measure of your endurance. Your maximum stamina increases when you level up and can be increased further by improving your body attribute and investing in certain perks. So, not just running around. Jumping, sprinting, and dodging and melee attacks deplete your stamina, but it will begin to regenerate. Okay, if your stamina falls to 0, you will be negatively affected by exhaustion status. Hold on then. Where did I see that? Miscellaneous. Status effects. What does exhaustion do? Oh, you're not here? You just told me I was going to get an exhaustion effect, man. Alright. Keep it to yourself then. Bitch. Okay. Exhaustion status reduces the effectiveness of stamina. Oh, you're telling me right here. Such as reducing dodge, range. Okay, fair enough. You're tired. You get all stumbly and stuff. Clumsy, I guess. Just don't run out of stamina. That's the rule. Consuming dreams with hydration. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Leveling up, completing jobs. Every level you gain a perk point. Yep, every 3 levels you gain an attribute point. You can level up a skill by performing. Here it is. You can level up a skill by performing actions related to that skill. So that thrown weapon thing, I'm gonna respect that shit if I can't like make it work. Because if I can't be throwing things regularly, then I'm not leveling that skill up. It's a waste. So I think about this. Also, wait a minute. Why are these like yellow marks going away, but these ones weren't? I was doing this. Look. What the hell? Oh. What the fuck? What's making these like go away? Anyways, okay, attributes. Yeah, we already learned that through the character stuff. And then street cred is a measure of your reputation in a city. Reaching higher levels will grant you access to new vendors. Oh, yeah, okay. And reach beyond the reach of small-time punks. Night City is bursting with opportunities. Yeah, get out there, find her. Okay, I'll work on it. Quick hacks. This is not really my domain, so I don't really care. Yeah. We get the RAM. This is like your stamina for whatever how much you can use. You get the device quick hacks. This is where I don't know. I'm probably not. I'm on. It's almost like it's me. It's just like I don't want to absorb that much in the first run. Maybe in the late game I'll start to slide into it. But even from an RP perspective, so this isn't just me like I don't want to absorb more information. I can't do it. It's very distracting. It's too much for my brain. It's too distracting because I will trip things up. So I got to consume things slowly. I got to find a pattern for it. It's got to become automatic. And then I start to pull in new information. So, but it's not just that. It's from an RP perspective. I have no interest in this. I have zero interest in this. I know you probably need it for the game and I'll be really terrible at it. That's just the way it's going to be. But this character has zero interest in any of this. You know, I mean, you have to have the eye, of course. You got to have, I know there's minimal requirements for it, but I'm going to be really bad at it. Because I have zero as a character and as me for this particular play. I would love to play one of just this. So, you know what I mean? I just focus on this. But then I'm going to have the history of playing this V, who's more mobile and stuff like that. Because I want to learn mobility in this game. I want to move around. I want to be active. I want to kind of like, I want to move through a scene, you know, and know how to like, how to take advantage of scene, line of sight, dodging, like I want to be able to really push that. And so I want to focus on that. But I'm going to have that. I'm going to carry it into the next character. So that guy can be a hacker. But he can also have like that other. I'm going to be good as a player, which means that character is then going to pick up some of the benefits of that, you know. But anyways, breach protocol. Initiated cyber. But then I do get confused whenever I have to use this stuff in the game too. Like even the minimal times I have to use it, I'm like, what am I doing again? I know I get it. But it is what it is. So stealth. Like for example, stealth. I feel like it's not as cool as I wish it could be because the fucking cameras, you know. But for me to take out the cameras, you almost have to be a hacker stealther. If you can be a hack stealther, then you hack with the cameras, you disable them, then you stealth and you take people out. But I'm like, I'm not gonna be a hacker. So then if I shoot the camera, I activate all the enemies. So I'm like, whoa, what's the point of stealth? It's almost forcing me to kind of go, okay, well, I'm going to respect the character and I'll just go down the path that makes sense to the playstyle that I feel like the game is like allowing me to do. But it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm not even complaining about it. I'm saying for my playstyle, for what I imagine this character could be like, I don't know if it's going to work in my favor is what I'm saying. I'm going to compromise myself a lot. So grappling and takedowns. Yeah, I got this one. I like it. I would love to do this and do it quietly and be able to, okay, don't do it with the skulls more often, you know, but I get it. It's cool. I mean, that's part of the game. You got cameras and shit. It's just part of the game. I could do that for the dudes outside, though. If I have to take some dudes outside, this will be quick and easy. Hold R to pick up the body, and then F to dump it. I thought it was E to dump it, but okay. I guess I'll find that out when I'm in the middle of doing it again. Combat in altered state. An enemy is in combat if it is actively attacking its target or approaching its last known location. When an enemy cannot locate its target, it will fall back to the alerted state. I said altered. And patrol the area, blah, 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 blah. Patrols and distractions. And this is easy enough. Make noises, blah, blah, blah. And then they go check it out and you know what I'm saying? So ranged combat, melee. I guess I could just come in here. Yeah, fair enough. I don't have to do the combat training. It's just easier when I'm actually doing the action. I remember things a lot easier. Because again, it's a pattern thing. It's not a knowledge thing. No. I need to repeat the things that I learn. Otherwise, they don't stick with me. I've learned this decades ago. I know exactly how I learn. I'm good with it, but it needs to be that way. It's a blocker. I get it. Okay, so exploration. I don't need any of these two. These are pretty much straightforward at this point. Dialogue options pretty straightforward. Scanning. I wish. Yeah, no, that's fine. Fast travel. Yeah, we learned about that. And then journals. I know telephone is right in the bottom left corner. The T by the V, the vehicle. I know. Okay, I got it. I do want to check the telephone. I don't know if I should do it this episode now because a lot of people, well, not a lot, but like a share of you would have left. A share of you would have left, and so I want to make sure that yeah, I do that with when it's because something vital might pop up. This might be a lot of reading. I might not have done this. You know what? I'm already in this. Let's just go for an hour. Let's just finish this. Let's just clean this up. People can always refer to this video if they want to get like me getting the context of the game. It doesn't really matter. It'll come up with play, right? That NCPD. I read part of the website on this maybe, but no, I feel like I read this one. Maybe it was like a real world website, I think, and then the website in the game. I'm confused now. The Night City Police Department, the law enforcement this city needs and deserves. Now they say the best way to know a city is through its police force. The NCPD is an underfunded, under-equipped, understaffed organization where every officer puts their life on the line each day. It's no surprise that that most badges in the NCPD have lost faith in their thankless jobs. An atmosphere of apathy and corruption pervades the department, while many officers on the street react with brutality and aggression, don't I know it, due to the stress and nature of their work. Nevertheless, some badges still wholeheartedly believe in defending ordinary citizens and making sure the urban jungle doesn't descend into complete chaos. For them, a badge still means something in this city, and a gun is still a tool to protect and serve. Run into one of these zealots, and most gangoons, I like it, gangoons, will get on their knees, hands behind their heads, refuse, and they're almost certain to get a bullet. So that it really is just like don't even talk back. I learned this in like the first hour of the game. Don't approach them if they think you're hostile. Maybe they heard about the other thing I did, but it doesn't matter. They're going to be on edge. And if you don't do what they say, they're going to shoot you. That's it. That's how they work here. Of course, like everywhere else, real power is held in the hands of corporations. The police force's official sponsor is Night City, but the NCPD is also beholden to the interests of Arasaka and Militech. Oftentimes, when official investigations get stonewalled, the NCPD will hire mercenaries on the sly to obtain evidence in areas under corporate jurisdiction that forbid any police presence. None of that changes the fact that when people are in trouble, they call the NCPD, who arrive on the scene to protect and serve to the best of their abilities. Arasaka Corporation. The Arasaka Corporation is the longest operating megacorp in the world. Its origins date back to the mid-20th century when a young Soburo Arasaka inherited his father's nascent company, transforming it into a global leader in security. Today, the Arasaka Corporation is known as an arms manufacturing giant that has had its hands in military conflict across all continents. Due to the latest advances in technology and the company's seemingly unlimited capital, Arasaka is poised to achieve its political goals on a massive scale. Arasaka's soldiers and agents are known not only for their excellent training, but also for their steadfast loyalty to corporate values, and CEO Saburo Arasaka himself, who, despite his advancing age, continues to govern the corporation with an iron fist. Even discussions of a succession plan must be kept to a whisper, because no one would dare openly question the authority of the world's greatest weapons empire. Almost no one. It's kind of like it's got a little bit of that samurai emperor kind of thing going on, New United States of America and USA. The original United States of America, divided by bitter internal conflicts and stretched apart by dissident forces, finally collapsed into a potpourri of warring states and sprawling abandoned territories. But when the dust finally settled and disaster became the new normal, the old dreams of unity and national pride were once more united under a new and improved Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, I didn't, of course, it is new. Well, behind which stands the new United States of America and USA. Rosalind Myers, the Union's incumbent president, is hell-bent on bringing the rest of the country in line, no matter the cost. Myers' government is supported militarily by Militech, so much so, in fact, that it's hard to tell where the state ends and the corporation begins. In that respect, not much has changed. Wow. Corporations. In the latter half of the 21st century, corporations are international financial behemoths, megacorporations. They have their own political aims, even waging more or less open conflicts against the competition. It's no exaggeration to say that corporations are what shapes the reality and life of an ordinary person. Just take a look around. Every object in your home comes off some production line in a factory belonging to one of the megacorps. Another one delivers electricity to your home so you can watch TV news on a media conglomerate's channel, which in turn has corporations as a majority of its shareholders. Everything you drink, even to a certain extent the air you breathe, it all comes from global concerns. Even if you're blissfully unaware of this, the corporations still influence every aspect of your life. They're at your fingertips. Those fingers of chrome. What manufacturer exactly? Fixers. Now, you could take gigs yourself, and when you get hazed once or twice, or get a dose of lead in lieu of payment, you might start looking around for a good fixer. Prove yourself, and you'll never have to worry about your next gig again. The fixer will choose your crew, negotiate a decent payout. After all, he or she's taking a cut, and pull you out of whatever shit you might land in on the job. Okay, unless it was your gonk fault, in which case you're on your own. Fixers are organizers, agents, go-betweens. So there's 3 of them right now in the image. Do more appear as I go, or there are only 3. So I can't get... Don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions. Okay, so pays... where was I? Fixers are organizers, agents, go-betweens. They know the latest word on the street. They know who pays right and whose gigs stink from a mile away. Each one has his or her own way of getting things done, but they all follow a certain code of honor. Okay. I cannot turn on him. I can't do it. I won't be able to do it. If you work for one, they'll never leave you high and dry. Of course, this code goes both ways. Go ahead. Try and haze Wakako, Okada, or I'm going to say Padre. It's probably Padre. I can't say if it's an A or no. Fuck this letters. See what happens. Okay, fair enough. I got it. Heard you loud and clear. Nomads. Cool. Okay, the first nomads were formed. What? Hold on, let me see something here. Oh, damn, there's a lot. Jesus Christ. Wow, there's so much to read on this list. Well, I'll read the nomads. The first nomads were farmers forced to leave their land by a series of natural disasters, wars, and corporate machinations. They moved out, gathering in larger and larger groups, hoping to find a better home for their families. But what they saw on their journey across the states convinced them they were better off staying on the move. Historically, the nomads are divided into 7 nations, such as Snake Nation, the Aldecaldos, and Jades, each of which is divided into clans and finally into individual families. Oh, I like this a lot. Nomads travel with their entire families in search of gainful employment. They rebuild cities and factories after the collapse, while also playing an important role in creating the maglev network. Maybe a transport. Some clans take jobs for corporations, seasonal ones, of course, so as not to stay too long in one place, while others work for local communities. Nomads value the family and follow their own unique code, which places loyalty to the clan above all else. I'm done. I'm done for now. I'm going to have to read this. I mean, this might be a whole other episode. We'll do another one of these. But holy smokes. So, for those of you who stuck around, thank you for checking things out, I suppose, because that's a lot. I mean, some people are cool with it. I mean, sometimes I have things to say, and, I'm talking about things. I mean, it's not like I'm just throwing the opportunity away to comment on the lore, and the lore is important if I'm going to be playing things, especially from an RP perspective, right? I'm not just flying through this game with meta. So, anyways, I have a level to do here now, and now it's like, how many people dropped off this episode? I'm going to do this level when I come back. I still got to think about what I want to do, too, and I could talk about that on the way. But now, geez, we're in the middle of a friggin' scene here, though. So, you know what, Jackie, stop, pause. And that's it for round 1. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of these. I'm going to wrap this episode up so that I can continue with the Jackie talk into Afterlife, and I'm going to splice everything together. It's going to look like magic on the other side for all of you. So I'll catch you in the next episode. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire, buddy. Peace.